5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The country is more divided than we have been since the 60s. Next on the Jeff Crilley Show, a young lady who hopes to bring us all together with a Be the Love campaign. That's just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Boy, I can't think of a time since the 60s when the country has been so divided. We have everything from political divisiveness to protests to hashtag Me Too. We've got all this finger pointing. Wouldn't it be nice if we could just all kind of get centered and come back to where we know we should be? So that's why I invited Holly Carroccio on my show. She is with Be the Love campaign. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm excited for you to share your journey because you're in financial services and you've got a very thriving practice. So what drew you to this campaign?
So just like everyone else, I started seeing all the divisiveness on social media, and people that never were debating or fighting are now just calling each other names and just so angry. And just with the protests and Black Lives Matter and just all the things that are going on, I wanted to do something because I felt really helpless. And I thought, what can I personally do to, just one person at a time, create a movement that would be positive, that would create some social healing and really try to bring people back together.
And it started with a bracelet. I want you to hold up your wrist and show us how it all began. And it just says simply "Be the Love," right?
Yeah.
So how did those words come into your mind?
So I just started thinking about what would be a positive statement that would be short and simple but really resonating, and I wanted it to be around love, because I personally believe that love is a very superpower that we all have, and I think it is the power. And so I wanted to come up with that, and Be the Love just came to me, and the second I thought it, I was like, that is it.
I think it's awesome. We remember "Be the change you want in the world," and "Be the love" is just a wonderful slogan. Mm-hmm. You were telling me off camera that when the idea first came to you, you had a kind of an inner monologue, and you said to yourself, "But won't people think I'm Pollyanna? Won't people think this is just too, sugary and sweet?" But fortunately, you didn't listen to that voice, and you went ahead with it. What's been the reaction to the campaign?
It's been super positive. Everyone has just been so receptive and just has loved it. And it started off with the wristband, and then I made a Facebook page where I could start posting some things and sharing some things. And I started getting followers on that. And just as I've seen some negative conversations out in social media, I've tried to interject some positivity and turn those conversations around. And I've actually gotten people that were kind of rude initially to back off of that and say, I see where you're coming from and I really appreciate it.
That is really cool. Well, I think something that is kind of fueling all this is social media. Everybody feels permission to do shaming and comment, and sometimes I wonder, Holly, whether or not the people who are posting these outrageous things actually believe it, or if they're just trying to be outrageous to get the shares. But whatever their motivation is, it's really polarizing, isn't it?
It is. Well, and also we are getting so used to just sound bites and we're reading quick things and we're immediately accepting them and reacting emotionally. And people are not taking the time to dig and learn and listen and really hear the other side. And it is getting more and more divided. And then we're also being fed whatever narrative we happen to buy into more and more just from algorithms and artificial intelligence.
Well, and I think reality television plays a role. My wife is a huge reality television junkie, so I end up watching a lot of Real Housewives shows, and they're all fighting and bickering and turning over tables, and that's not that's not real life.
Right.
But I could see how it could warp somebody's thinking, especially a young person thinking this is acceptable behavior.
Right.
So I want to show a video that we found. I think this was posted on your Facebook page, and I want you to just kind of talk us through when you do these videos. What's your inspiration?
Usually it's a conversation that I see out there, and like this little seed comes into my heart, and I just start thinking about it and mulling it over, and then I'll do a little research and talk to people, and then I write an article about it, and then I use that article to make a video. And this particular one that you're showing is about respect. And I think we've really lost our ability to respect one another and our differences. And we've just made it so people are so judgmental. And if you don't believe the way I do, then you're wrong, you're immoral, you're this, you're that. Instead of trying to take a moment and listen to that other person, understand their views, and understand that we all have life experiences that leads us to this point in our belief system, and you can't take that lightly. And if you really take a moment to sit on their side of the table and learn those things and make a conscious effort to respect them, then that in itself is an act of love.
Well, I remember after the last election, there were stories on the news about people defriending other friends because they voted this way or that way, and I just can't imagine how we got here. I mean, we've all kind of slowly watched it happen, haven't we?
Yeah, for sure.
So how can people get involved? What do you want people to do?
So what I want people to do is, first of all, acknowledge that we do have power in the spirit of love. And, I personally feel like God calls us to that, and that is my inspiration. And so to show acts of love one moment at a time, one interaction at a time, one person at a time. And I would love for as many people as possible to have this bracelet and to pass them on to other people. You can find them on my Facebook page, which is @BeTheLove on Facebook. And they're also available at an Etsy store called Be the Love. And just follow the Facebook page and watch out for more, because we have really big plans to make this a campaign to support our community and other acts of kindness and love.
Outstanding. Well, you are an inspiration in a world that desperately needs hope right now.
Thank
We're
you.
going to go ahead and put the Facebook page up again so you can start following, and go ahead and contact Holly for a bracelet. Be the Love campaign on Facebook. Holly, thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.